Hey y'all, welcome back to Praise Shop Cruise. My name is Itiri. Quick shout out to these earmuffs. It's cold in the Carolinas right now, y'all, and these earmuffs are coming through. It was in the low 20s this morning, and I love them. These earmuffs are from Cato. Go check out some of my Cato hauls. You are sure to enjoy. I give you the best deals from Cato and other stores like it. So I'm going to keep these on, but I'm going to push them back a little bit like a little headband because I think they are so cute. Look at that pearl detail, y'all. So cute. But this video isn't about my earmuffs or about Cato. In light of me recently disembarking Carnival Mardi Gras, I thought it would be really appropriate to give an official Carnival Sunshine review, because back when I sailed Carnival Sunshine last year, I didn't actually give you guys a final thought. And Carnival Sunshine is very important to this channel. It's very important to my life and to my family. And when I got off of Carnival Mardi Gras, I of course thought of the juxtaposition of how just last year I was on like the oldest, rustiest, crustiest ship with my family. And then fast forwarding this year, ending on their best, one of their best ships for Carnival. So this video is going to be about me giving my final thoughts on Carnival Sunshine. I wanted this to come out before I give my final thoughts on Carnival Mardi Gras because it is two different experiences, and it is two different versions of Carnival that I really feel like I experienced. So I have some notes here that I'm looking at, but Carnival Sunshine is undoubtedly the worst cruise I've ever cruised on. Okay, I've been cruising since I was a child. My mother, she always took me on cruises with Royal Caribbean. We were a straight Royal Caribbean family. We stopped cruising for almost 20 years. So when we boarded Carnival Sunshine, my mother and I, it was my first cruise as an adult with drinking age with my mother, and she was remarried now. So it was our first cruise as a family unit with my mom and pops and myself. It was a huge deal. Okay, this cruise, Carnival Sunshine, for us last February. So it was just it just kind of was a historical milestone for us with cruising and with our lives, how much time had passed in our lives. With that being said, I will probably put some footage of our Carnival Sunshine adventure beside me, maybe in black and white to represent the past. I'll probably put it somewhere. Not sure how I'm going to do this video yet, but we'll see. And so first thing I want to say is the worst cruise we've ever cruised, but it's one of the most important cruises we've ever done as a family. It left out of Charleston, South Carolina, which is the main reason why I chose that cruise as our first family unit cruise with me, my mom, and Pops. It was my Pops' first cruise ever. So I introduced Pops to probably the crappiest cruise at sea for his first cruise ever. And I'm surprised he wanted to continue cruising after that. I'm surprised he trusted us after we did that. But we did. So it was only up from there. If you don't know anything about Carnival Sunshine, it looks like a floating rust bucket, okay? I personally thought Carnival Sunshine was supposed to be broken down this year and refurbished. That's what I thought was happening. I don't know why that's not happening. I know it's not happening because we were on Carnival Mardi Gras, and sure as I'm sitting here, we saw the rust bucket, Carnival Sunshine, pull up and park beside us. Forgot which island we were at. I think it was Nassau. Pull up and park beside us, and I'm like, why is this thing still at sea? Like it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing ship to their fleet, but it's super cheap. Okay, super cheap, super rusty, very bad looking ship. The inside is crusty, doesn't feel clean. There's a lot wrong with this ship. Okay, it just really needs to be refurbished. Worst cruise we've ever done. First cruise my Pops has ever done, and was his worst. But it was the best cruise director we have had to date, and that's including with the Carnival Mardi Gras. So for the life of me, I cannot remember that man's name who was our cruise director on Carnival Sunshine, but he was the best cruise director we've ever had the funniest, the most entertaining. He really needs to be on Mardi Gras, not the little European Asian guy that they have. They need to swap cruise directors, because the cruise director of Sunshine at our time, he's a black male. I cannot remember his name, but he would get on the intercom and he would be like, "Hey y'all, I said hey. If y'all know who that is, put that in the comments. Put his name in the comments. He needs to be on either Mardi Gras, Celebration, or Jubilee. Maybe he already is. Maybe they already pulled him. I hope so, because he's really, to me, the best. And that's across cruise lines. That's just not Carnival. He's been our best cruise director across cruise lines, Royal, Carnival, and Celebrity. Okay, worst cruise, crustiest cruise, dirtiest cruise, best cruise director. Okay, so the rooms were just rusty and crusty. Okay, it just feels like an old rusty ship. But I want to mention that in my room, my shower flooded the first day. It was so bad. I felt so icky. The shower flooded the bathroom. They had to come in and fix it. I thought they were gonna have to try to get me out of into another room, but they didn't. Um, Someone came and fixed it. I changed again. Had a room next to my mom and pops. We decorated my mom and pop's room because we were celebrating my mother's birthday. So we cruised out in February of last year, and we were celebrating my mother's birthday. And I look back on it now and I'm like, man, we chose about the worst cruise. But we're in North Carolina, so we were able to drive to the port in Charleston, South Carolina, which was so convenient. We didn't have to stay in a hotel. It was only like a 3-hour drive. Embarkation was it was smooth. Carnival Sunshine, and there's a huge difference between Carnival Sunshine embarkation in Charleston and Carnival Mardi Gras embarkation in Port Canaveral. I'll be giving more details on that Port Canaveral embarkation for Carnival in the Carnival Mardi Gras video. But with Carnival Sunshine, you park in an open parking lot in Charleston, South Carolina, which they're supposed to be closing that port. So I don't know when all this is happening. If you know the new timeline for this, let me know. Or maybe it's already closed and Sunshine is leaving out of Virginia now. Something like that was supposed to be happening. So the Charleston parking lot is an open parking lot. Everybody parks, and there's usually people telling you where to go. And then on embarkation, they have a bus that picks everyone up and takes them to this other place where you have to board the ship. And it's pretty smooth. You have to walk in through multiple buildings and through customs. It's a lot of walking. But it was smooth and it went pretty quickly. And debarkation with Sunshine was very quick and very smooth, unlike Carnival Mardi Gras. Carnival Mardi Gras 2024, worst embarkation of any cruise line of any year ever. I don't care how loyal you are to Carnival. The disembarkation process of Mardi Gras, if that's any indication of what's to come in their future ships, they won't be seeing me. That disembarkation had me tight. I was very upset. A lot of people were bothered. So stay tuned for that Carnival Mardi Gras disembarkation video. But the disembarkation for Sunshine was really good. But there are some, port logistics, if you will, when you're pulling up, parking, having to take the bus, then having to walk out, go to multiple buildings. Then when you disembark, you got to take the bus back. And you just got to, pay attention to where you park and make sure you get back. But it was seamless. It was smooth. The food was pretty good. The dining room was fun. I don't think we've had people dance around in the dining room like they did on Sunshine. Sunshine was the first and last cruise, I think, that we've cruised as a family. But in the last 2 years, where they were dancing around in the dining room and kind of doing little performances. And we went on a holiday. It was not a holiday because it was February. So they were just dancing around. That didn't happen on Mardi Gras in the dining room. It doesn't happen on any royal ships that we've been on. We've been on 6 cruises in the past 2 years, which is a huge accomplishment for us as a family. My mom, pops, and I, we are the cruise buddies. And we have gone on 6 cruises in the past 2 years. And my mother and I have been cruising since I was a child and a preteen. So you add all those cruises. But as an adult, I've done 6 within the past 2 years. And Sunshine was the only one where we had people dancing in the dining room and kind of entertaining you as you ate and like making you laugh and little performances. We didn't see that on any other ship. But Overall, Sunshine is not a ship I would recommend anyone to go on. Yeah, it's cheap, but and it may be convenient, but just save your money and do a better ship if you can. I just really want that ship to be broken down and refurbished. I want Carnival Magic to be broken down and refurbished. That one pulled up beside us this year when we were on Mardi Gras. We were like, what in the world? It's about as rusty as Sunshine. I don't know why Carnival ships look so bad. Like, I don't get it. Um, Royal has plenty of old ships that don't look that bad. And Radiance was not the best clean. Radiance of the Seas by Royal Caribbean was not the cleanest feeling ship to me, but it still didn't look as bad as Carnival Sunshine and Carnival Magic. I don't know. They need to take them boats off sea. Okay, about half a Carnival fleet need to be taken off sea, except for some of the bigger ones. I know that Carnival has some ship orders coming down, some new ships being built for 2026, 27. They need to move a little bit faster than what they're moving. But overall, I would not recommend this ship for anyone. I would not recommend Carnival Sunshine. Just don't do it. Just pay more for a better ship experience, for a newer ship that's going to feel cleaner and that's not going to look like a rust bucket at sea. We did it. My mom, pops, and I did it kind of walking in blindly just because it was convenient, and I booked it. So they didn't really do it. I did it to them. I kind of walked in blindly. But Carnival Sunshine is so important to me and to this channel because when I walked out on my balcony in my room, I had a moment, a real spiritual moment when I looked out at sea and I was like, yeah, I want to start doing this again, like mom did, all those 20 some odd years ago. I want to start cruising again. And not only do I want to start cruising again, but I want to put my cruise travels on YouTube. And I knew I wanted to start something where I could vlog for myself and look at my own memories so that I don't forget where I've been and all the things I'm accomplishing. So the channel was birthed at sea while I was on Carnival Sunshine. So no matter how sucky that ship is, it will always be very important to me. And dare I say it, probably the most important ship to this channel, because this channel would not exist had it not been for Carnival Sunshine. But those are sentimental reasons to me. When we're talking about spending your green, spending your money that you've worked hard for, I would not recommend this ship to anybody. I would not. I just would not. I wouldn't do it again. If I had done research, prior, I would have chosen a different ship for my pops' first ship and for me and mom's first ship for me as an adult. But I think because it was so rusty and crusty, it's always going to be an even firmer memory in my heart now for it. But I would not recommend it. Don't spend your money on this ship. They need to take it down and refurbish it. It's ridiculous at this point, Carnival. If anybody's watching from the Carnival team, take the ship off the sea. Like, it's gotta be taken off. It's ridiculous. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to give a recap. The staff was great. Best cruise director we've ever had. But the ship itself is just horrid. Just horrid. I really wish more ships sailed from that Charleston port. Like, I really wish Royal Caribbean got on that wave. Because, honey, the amount of cruising I'd be doing probably on just one ship going out of Charleston would be insane. The convenience was great. The port logistics were, it was a little complex, but they had it set up where it was smooth. The food was pretty good from what I remember. The rooms were crappy. You just don't do this ship. Don't do it. Don't do it. Carnival Mardi Gras is night and day from Carnival Sunshine as far as the ship and the rooms and how big it is and all the improvements that it has over Sunshine. But look how many years that have been, from when they built Sunshine to when they built Mardi Gras. And Mardi Gras is already 4 years old now. So, there's a lot more room for improvement just with the Carnival Cruise Line brand anyway. Carnival is not a top brand for me. I do want to see Celebration Key. I do want to see if they're able to step up and come up to the table and try to do something that could possibly rival Perfect Day. I don't think it's gonna. They could never. I mean, I hate to say that, and I'm not even loyal to Royal, but they could never do what Royal does. But I do plan to cruise in the future to see Celebration Key, but just Carnival as a line in general is not one I would recommend first off to people. And if you're going to cruise Carnival, save up your money and cruise Mardi Gras and get a nice room on Mardi Gras. Like, don't go cheap on the room. Get a nice room on Mardi Gras and really like try to maximize your experience. Mardi Gras, Carnival Mardi Gras, Carnival Celebration, or Carnival Jubilee, any ship in that Excel class, save your money and go on one of those ships for Carnival. Get the best top of the line room and maximize your experience to have the best experience you can on Carnival. Carnival has a lot of fun things. The food is really good overall in general, but it's not a cruise line that's like if someone's cruising for the first time, I'm most likely going to recommend them a Royal Caribbean ship and a Royal Caribbean experience. Royal Caribbean's app is better. Royal Caribbean's Windjammer buffet is better. Dining room is better. There's just for an experience for someone to where everything is organized and they don't get lost and they don't feel confused or frustrated. Royal Caribbean is your best bet. But I have not tried Norwegian. I have not tried MSC. I've not tried Princess yet. Those are all on my to-do list. But Carnival is just not something I'm going to recommend a first-time cruiser. You can hate it or love it. I could care less. It's my opinion and it's how I feel. I have cruised 2 Carnival cruises now. I do plan to do a third one at some point, just to get to Celebration Key and see, what they've tried to what they've tried to do to compete with Royal. I will do that, but it's not a cruise line I plan to take my parents on again until they come out with newer ships in the next few years. Like my parents, I don't plan to ever book for them until Carnival comes out with something newer. But Carnival Sunshine is always going to mean a lot to me. Would not recommend you go on that ship. But I wanted to give final thoughts before I came and gave final thoughts on Mardi Gras. And it's been a year since Sunshine, so kind of. I also want to say thank you, everyone who have been with me since last year and who have watched videos since last year. Thank you. We've come a long way. And I know the videos still have to get better and I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm sort of just recording as I have time in between, working. It's not easy. So big ups to all these big YouTubers out here doing their thing. But as we're winding down, going into another new year, and it'll be 2 years then from Carnival Sunshine and 2 years from this channel come next year. I just want to say thank you. And I'm going to keep producing content as long as I can, as long as I'm able. I do it more so for me and for my own mental health than for anything else. But thank you if you're watching. Let me know if you have any questions. There's probably going to be a lot of people that disagree with how I feel about the Carnival brand and Carnival Sunshine, and that's okay. But this is how I feel. And this was my final thoughts or closing thoughts on Carnival Sunshine. So stay tuned for the Carnival Mardi Gras final thoughts coming sometime soon. It may not come till next year with how slow I'm moving. I don't know. But y'all stay tuned. Stay blessed. And have happy holidays this season if you can. Stay encouraged. That's for me. Stay encouraged. Bye, y'all.